Hey everybody, it's Bethany with Work at Mama, and today I just wanted to share a few tips about how to cope with a really hard day as a working mom. Of course, these tips are still good even if you are a stay-at-home mom, which I have been in the past. But more recently, most of my experience is as a working mom, so I just wanted to give a little bit of encouragement today, and hopefully this helps somebody out there. So let's get right into it. So, tip number one is to do at least one activity that sparks joy. And I would suggest doing this while the kids are awake. And as we get into the other tips, you'll see why. But always suggest doing the first tip while your kids are still awake, because we all have heard, I'm sure, of the dreaded mom guilt, and this just kind of lessens that a little bit by having at least one moment, even after a really hard day, having that one moment that you can look back on and remember before your kids go to sleep, that you just had a special moment with them to bond and have a moment of joy. One of my daughter's favorite games is hide and seek, and so we'll do that, or she likes playing tag. My son's a little bit younger, so he's not quite there yet, but just playing a fun game with them, just something that sparks joy between you and them, that solidifies that bond that you have, and kind of makes the day a little less horrible depending on what's been going on. So tip number two would definitely be to give yourself at least 5 minutes before picking those precious babies up to decompress. Now, this isn't like fully like, you know how at the end of the night, you've probably seen it all over Facebook, most moms do it, you get home, or even women in general, honestly, you get home, the bra comes flying off, you're changing into pajamas or whatever is comfortable for you, and that's like your full decompress for the day. But it's nice sometimes to have a couple minutes to yourself after you've gotten off work, before you pick up the kids, to just like chill out for a second. So some of the things that I like to do is I have a couple games on my phone that some of my coworkers have gotten me into. So sometimes I'll just play like a level or two of that before I, leave the parking lot and go pick up the kids. Or one of my other favorites is sometimes I'll just go get like sweet tea through the drive-through, because there's a place right across from where I work that it's just 99 cents. And so I'll go pay the 99 cents, get my tea, and that's like my little thing for the day that's just for me before I go pick them up. Sometimes even like because I usually play the radio as I'm driving, and if there's a song that comes on that I really enjoy, I'll just crank that up and I'll just be blasting and singing, all the way to pick up the kids. Or another good one, if maybe the boss has just been awful that day, or somebody's been on your case at work, or you've just had a really awful day for whatever reason, is just to just like scream in your car. Or if you live kind of out in the boonies, you could probably go outside. But me, we live a little closer to the city of where we are, and it's just easier for me to yell inside my car if the day's been that bad. So that's one tip, just to decompress for a couple minutes before you pick up the kids, so you're not in any way trying to project that onto them, because you want to have a smile on your face and be in a good mood when you pick up the kids, and you don't really want to be thinking about the stresses of your work day when you do that. So that's my tip for that, is just to decompress for a couple minutes. So tip number three isn't so much something that you're physically doing, but more of a mindset that you're putting yourself in, and that is just to give yourself a little bit of grace. And sometimes you just have to accept the fact that some days are going to be hard. Some days are not going to be any fun. Some days, maybe somebody at work has put you in a bad mood. Maybe you're fighting with your spouse. Maybe it was just hard getting the kids ready that morning. That's just kind of still got you bummed out. Or maybe the weather was awful, or whatever it may be that kind of has bummed you out for the day. Just know that some days are going to be like that, and just give yourself a little bit of grace that not every day has to be perfect for Facebook, or perfect for Instagram, or perfect for YouTube. And just know that some days suck. So tip number four is to talk it out. So I don't know who everybody's go-to person is. Maybe you have a few that when you're just really stressed out, you've had a really hard day at work or with the kids or whatever the case may be. But I have a few. So my number one person is God. So whether it's, in the shower if I have time, or in the car if I have time, even sometimes after I picked up the kids, if it's just been that rough of a day, I'll just talk to God and collect my thoughts. Or if I'm in the shower, talk to God and collect my thoughts and kind of get myself a little bit more perspective on the situation, whatever just got me having a hard day that day. And then the second person would be my husband. So I love him so much, and I try not to project too much onto him, because I know with me and him having opposite work schedules, his job is very high stress sometimes. I try not to bum him out, but he is my partner in life, and he always welcomes me with open arms to come to him with any stress or issues that I have, and I love that about him. And so usually I'll try to turn it into something funny or positive the best way I can, spin it in a positive light, and we'll just kind of talk it out. And the third person is my best friend. So me and my best friend, we talk every single day as much as we can, which we're both moms, so there's maybe some gaps in the day when we're not able to text or talk. But anytime something crazy happened at work, or I'm just having that awful a day, I know I can text her anytime, and she's gonna respond right away if she can, and we just lean on each other. That's the best way that I can put it. So tip number 5 is for after the kids are asleep, and my suggestion is to do something that gives you hope for better days. So whether that's keeping a gratitude notebook or gratitude journal, I actually got that idea from Love Meg's channel. She's here on YouTube. I believe she lives in North Carolina. So whether it's doing something like that, or even just something as simple as planning for your next day, that's what I really like to do, as someone who struggles with anxiety and a little bit of depression on and off sometimes. I really enjoy planning and structuring my next day to give me hope that things can and will get better in the days to come, even if I had a really hard day. Another good thing that you can do is exercise, which I try to do some home exercises. I have a YouTube app that I can pull up on my TV, and I'll do some exercise videos that way with my kettlebell, or just just a plain full body workout, something like that. Another one that you can do is meditate or pray, if that's something that you enjoy doing, and that can give you a lot of perspective for the day that you had, even if it was hard, and then it can also give you hope for a better tomorrow before you kind of get to that point where you're enjoying the TV show you like to watch, or a game you like to play, or whatever it is you do to decompress and just to get some alone time and me time to yourself. So that's it for the tips today, y'all. I really hope that you enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you have any suggestions for future videos that you would like to see, feel free to leave that in the comments down below, or if you have any questions for me, I would love to answer some questions in future videos. And y'all have a good night. It's about 11 o'clock at night now for me, so I'm going to wrap this up and go to bed. But thank y'all so much for listening to me, and thanks for giving my channel a chance, and y'all have a good night.